What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I want to go over something that I think is kind of interesting in the Bitcoin Cash charts, comparing it to Bitcoin itself. We look at Bitcoin here, on a weekly basis, and you see the weekly time frame here. Half this week, over half of it is a wick. Less than half of it is a body. You've definitely come down a good bit. 3 days, 3 hours left in the week. A lot can happen in this time. For Bitcoin Cash, you're basically bullishly engulfing what was a pretty bearish week last week. You're bullishly engulfing it. It's a totally different week. Look, I've got the ribbons pulled up here, and we look at the daily time frame. You see Bitcoin Cash was below its ribbon. It came back up. You had this contraction in the ribbon. Now you're back up, looking like you want to expand. The last time we kind of contracted was down here, and when we expanded, we went on a nice little rally from really from the low of like 379, 380 to $503. That's a good little run, and that happened between June 6th, June 4th, whatever, to June 18th in a couple weeks there. That really wasn't that long of a time. We contracted here and then went down to the downside. That was a bearish contraction. This is a bullish contraction here. Look at the positive results that happen from these contractions, or negative results if it's to the downside. Bitcoin, by contrast, on its daily time frame, is crossing down, and it even came back up, back tested this, found resistance, and I would say immaculate resistance at that. 2 hours 42 minutes left in the day. Let's see how it goes. If you come up and you pull your skirt up a little bit, show a wick underneath, that might be bullish. But if you come back down and close a little bit more, especially if tomorrow persists lower, I would think this is a bearish reaction that you have off your EMA ribbon, and it looks bearish right now. That's a very positive reaction. It's interesting to see these two, because the way this looks to me, I was expecting that Bitcoin Cash would go down to about $520 to $500, but with this look right here, it's making me rethink things a little bit, right? If Bitcoin moves lower, it's possible BCH could move down with it, but maybe it moves down to like 550. We just back test that ribbon one more time, and then we move up. We got the expansion coming in. Right here, we had the expansion coming in. We did back test the ribbon here. You can see this wick. It came down into the ribbon technically, so it could happen, but I don't know if we go lower, guys. That might have been it. So I think Bitcoin Cash, there's a few cryptos that I've called for the low to be in on, and I'd like to throw Bitcoin Cash in the mix now. I really do think it is the low now. Let's be fair, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We could go to 520 or lower. It is possible. That was a nice close we had yesterday. We got the close, man. We closed above $600, and the fact that we're not closing above it today, I guess, is a little bit, it's not concerning. It's a little less validating. It'd be nice if today closed above it too. We got 2 hours 41 minutes left to see how it goes, but it is nice to see that some life is coming into this, and especially looking at the ribbon in this kind of context, it really does make me think that we found our low. So I think it's time to take those lower lows off the table, 520 to 500. I think it's time to take them off the table. Pay attention to that area. Give it an acknowledgement. It's very possible that we could go down that low. But at this point in time, I think that it's completely appropriate to think otherwise. We had a very positive reaction here, you guys. And you can't really see it. Let me put the volume on here. Okay. Actually, I have another chart pulled up. So we've got some volume that came in over the past 48 hours. It's pretty good. Not a lot of volume today on this little sell. I want to look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll come back out to the long-term stuff. But I just wanted to mention this. It's pretty nice to see, right? But again, if BTC is moving down, BCH could move down with it. Does that mean it's going to see a lower low? No, but it could move down a little bit, right? But this is exactly what we want to see, because, man, again, on a weekly time frame, not only are you getting a bullish engulfing candle, but your weekly ribbon is expanding right now. You haven't even had your big move up yet. The monthly ribbon has just started to expand. Like, you look so primed for what I think is going to be a truly spectacular move up. And I was just thinking about how the average person, maybe not the average person, but there's the average person has this, is unable to join what's known as the 21 club in Bitcoin, right? Because it's like $2 million at this point, 2.5 million, or what would it be? 2.2 million. I don't know how much it would be right now. But where you own 21 Bitcoins, right? Because there's 21 million Bitcoins that ever will exist. Being part of the 21 club, owning 21 Bitcoins or more. For Bitcoin Cash, that's very much a feasible option, right? To own 21 Bitcoin Cash is, I just doing the math roughly real quick, I think would that be like $12,000, or maybe it's like $14,000. It's really not that much by contrast. Maybe it's like 15,000. I don't know. What's 600 times 10 is 6,000, 20,000, 21, or sorry, 12,000. It'd be like $13,000, or just under $13,000. It'd be about $12,000. That's really not that much in comparison to BTC. Being part of the 21 Club for Bitcoin Cash is very, very feasible. And that might be a good goal to have, especially considering that BCH will achieve the same price as BTC has in one day. I was actually just talking to somebody about this, that I really think, as far as like a 10-year investment goes, if I had one crypto to choose to put my money in and just continue to buy that over the next 10 years and not sell, because I have friends that I try to talk into getting into crypto. Like, man, I've got friends in the real world who, they know my story with crypto and they're skeptical. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. But some of them, I talk to them, and they all ask me the same thing, right? These skeptical minded people, they all ask me, well, I don't want to get into something that's volatile. Or they tell me, I don't want to get into something that's volatile. I don't want to risk, a bunch of money, or like lose my ass. I hear these horror stories. What's a safe investment over the next 10 years? Is Bitcoin safe? I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin's safe. I think Ethereum's safe. I was like, I think Bitcoin Cash is really safe and will probably outperform both of them. Like, as far as this cycle goes, will it outperform every other coin? No. Is it going to be the top dog of this cycle? Probably not. Probably not. Wouldn't that be something if it was? That'd be crazy, you guys. Either we're going to have a really boring cycle, which we have, to be fair, or Bitcoin Cash is going to go to like crazy, crazy highs. But as far as like the next 10 years go, cycles from now, I see Bitcoin Cash not only being relevant still, but between now and then being the crypto that grows the most. Out of any coin in the top 100, even in the top 500, it's probably the coin that grows the most. Because think about it, 10 years from now, it's multiple cycles away. Any crypto that's relevant now, they're gonna be here and gone, right? They're probably gonna be gone, or at least they won't attain the same market cap level potential that BCH will have, that BTC will have, that Ethereum will have. But out of all three of those, and maybe even XRP, I think Bitcoin Cash, maybe even Dogecoin as well, I think Bitcoin Cash from a percentage standpoint will grow the most, and it'll start to replace some of these in the rankings. Anyways, I'm off on a whole different tangent here, man. I think this is a positive look. I like that we've found resistance at this area once, twice, 3 times now. As we keep hitting this area, it's going to be weaker and weaker. It would have been nice to close today above 600. I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but it's not detrimental. Again, to the fact that I think, can we come back down from here? Yes, I think we can come back down, but are we going to see a lower low? I don't think so. I think Bitcoin will see a lower low. I don't think Bitcoin Cash will see a lower low. So where are we going to go if we do see a lower low? We take a high to a low here. The expectation would be that we see, we're right at the golden ratio. We could find support right here and then move up, man. That'd be nice. But I think as low as we would go would maybe be like 562, maybe 550, just below there at the lowest. I don't think we get below 548, right? Like that 236 level right there, I don't think, which is also at prior resistance here and prior support here and right at prior support here, I don't think we get below that level, or at least too much below that level. So that'd be the lowest I'd give us. And then I think we move up higher. Typically, whenever you do rush right through the golden ratio like this, and you hit your 786, you do pull all the way back to the 236 or the 382. We've been seeing this interaction with the 786 to the 382. We've been seeing this interaction happen a lot lately, actually, across different cryptos. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, the 1 hour RSI, it looks negative right now, but there's some positive things going on here, right? You've got lower lows, you've got lower highs, but you're breaking out. It's almost like, to me, it looks like you're turning it into a sideways trend. And if you take a downward trend and you turn it sideways before it even gets oversold, that's a pretty bullish thing. And that would make me think that we go higher. But let's see what we do, between now and the end of the day. Let's see what we do between now and tomorrow. I'll probably have to make another video on Bitcoin Cash tomorrow because I think it's going to be relevant. The stochastics at the moment, 34 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. Right now they look bearish because your blue is pointed down. If you reject here, that's not normally a good thing. But I would expect you to get into the overbought zone, so that might promote growth as time goes on. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame just to see. Yeah, maybe you do close this 1 hour red. Okay, so I mean that could be it. Maybe we do come down a little bit, but this is rather odd price action, just moving sideways like this. I suppose I would think that we go lower. Is that a gap? That's a gap. We got a 1 hour gap on the Coinbase chart. So that gap's going to get filled. Absolutely, Bitcoin Cash is going to go higher here pretty soon. But first, maybe a little bit lower. The MACD looks bullish enough. I like this low, higher low, higher low, higher low in these oscillators here. Right? I like that scheme right there. But maybe you go a little bit lower. You're popping green a little bit right now, but if you come down a little bit more by the next 33 minutes or so, that might cross back into the red. And that's okay if it is. We get back above $600, you guys. I want you to understand that it's go time. Okay, with all this stuff going on with the ribbon, it's go time. If we get back above $600, any lower prices that we're talking about now are just off the table. And the prices that we're talking about now for the lower prices are 548 to 560, 565, something like that, right? We're at 588 now, so nothing crazy. 4 hour stochastics look bearish, but you're right at an area that you seem to like to bounce at, actually. The RSI looks bullish. You're in an uptrend. Higher lows, right? You can see it. We're right at that area where we would bounce from as well. Higher lows there, higher highs there. I'm not drawing the best, but you can kind of see roughly what we're going for. Maybe we could even come down a little bit, but still bounce off this area. The MACD is crossed red, but overall in a bullish posturing. I'm not really worried about that. I'm having a hard time here because I could just as easily see us move up from here and start this party as I could see us move down a little bit, form a higher low, and then come up later and move up. Especially considering that Bitcoin might move down, right? So I'm going to stick with it. We're at 588 now. I think that we're going to see new relative highs here and new cycle highs. We're probably on our way to new all-time highs, but first, I think we will go down to about 565 to 545. Let's just say something in that area to keep it simple. You are at an area that you seem to find resistance at with your RSI. Typically, you go a little bit higher, though, in all fairness. But I don't see this RSI pointing upwards by the end of today. It looks like we're probably going to come down a little bit by the end of the day. So unless in the next 30 minutes we pull up a little bit, and in which case we're good. The MACD is right at an area where you'd expect it to bounce. So slight turbulence over the coming days, but sometime next week and going into the following weeks, I think that we'll continue to rally. We should be moving up. Things are looking perked up in the right perspective, the right direction for us to go higher. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's just my daughter being a silly goose. I don't know what she's doing. She's like pretending to be a monster or something, as kids do. If we take this high here to the low here, I mean, we're looking so good right now, you guys. Looking very, very good. It's going to be fast. It's going to be very fast. And the only thing I can say is not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but regardless of what comes our way, if we move up, we move back down, there's a little bit of volatility, don't sell. Don't sell. Don't you, if you want to take profits, if anybody's in this for the short term and not the long term, you don't have the vision, the foresight, the whatever, you hear the idea that we're going to go above this high, then do this. Buy here and don't sell until we're above that high, at least, right? There's none of this in between matters because we're going to see new relative highs. As far as how high are we going to go, we genuinely could reach for $3,600. I keep talking about $1,600 to $2,200 and then really like that $1,800 to $2,000 range. Like it's a prospect, and it is a prospect. But the reality is we could go a lot higher. The reality is your minimum extension target, once you get above the size, at $3,600. We could go a lot higher, you guys. Bitcoin Cash is overlooked, and it's got a lot of value to it. It's got, from a technical perspective, this thing is wound up and ready to go. It's going to unleash the beast. From a fundamental perspective, it's got a lot of, let's say, power. It's got a lot of value behind it. And if that value is even potentially realized to some slight degree, $3,600 is a cakewalk. $10,000 is like we could hit $10,000 by the end of the year, which would just be awesome. Awesome for everybody holding Bitcoin Cash. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I'm on the edge of my seat with this thing, man. And I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to move a little bit lower? I wouldn't be surprised if we went down to about 560 to 540, right? 545, 565, whatever. And I also would not be surprised if we just ripped through the roof. We're right on the precipice of greatness. And again, it's things like this on the daily time frame that make me think, hey, Bitcoin's crossing down, Bitcoin Cash is crossing up. It's kind of a positive view. Let's look at this on the BCH BTC pair, and then we'll wrap this up, okay? BCH BTC. No, not BTC. Why do I keep doing that? BCH BTC. And we'll use the Binance chart because it has more historical data. Although we probably don't need that because we're just looking at the, we'll use it, whatever. We'll look at all the time frames. Alrighty, come on now. Moments like this where my computer's lagging, I like to take a moment to tell people the true secrets of technical analysis, the things that you need, the skills that you can acquire to become the best trader and all right, we're back. So here we are looking at this BCH BTC. Sitting at 005335 right now, 2 hours, 29 minutes left in the day. If we're looking at this here, the daily ribbon is positively postured, absolutely, and you're seeing new highs relative to Bitcoin. That's awesome. But you are at a point where I'd expect you to find resistance, so maybe you do come down. Weekly time frame here. That's my daughter. I don't know what's going on, but they're like right outside the door. The weekly ribbon's about to cross up, you guys, which is pretty awesome. Right here, the difference between this cross and these crosses happen after a massive move up, and you actually crossed on your way down. You crossed on your way down. This cross might be happening on your way up, and that's a lot more beneficial, structurally speaking. We haven't ever crossed to the upside at all in your history. Like, I guess here you had a false cross, but like these crosses were the most that we had. We're really setting up grounds to see a really different kind of shift in momentum on the BCH BTC chart. Monthly time frame here. I mean, we're living in the ribbon. Technically, and by my own definitions of how I trade the ribbon, whenever you start to live in the ribbon, as you have been, you don't expect to stop until you're through it. So going through it means we would see at least 1.6%, 1.5%. We'd probably go above that in percentages, right? You probably don't just go like slightly above it, but a little bit more than slightly. And even if, we could go higher. We could go all the way up to like 2%. I'm just thinking here, what's Bitcoin's price going to be by the end of the cycle? If Bitcoin Cash were to go up to this area of resistance, this area of support versus the BTC chart, that's 2.7%. I think Bitcoin's going to be worth $500,000. So what is that? That's not 20K, but it's close, right? It's pretty close to 20K. Or is it 20K? No, because 1 on 500,000 would be 5,000. 2 would be 10,000. 3 would be 15,000. Okay, so it'd be a little under 15,000. Okay, so that's 13K, which we actually have targets for, right? High to low. It's pretty close right there, 13K. I mean, that's at least feasible. 13K, and if Bitcoin goes to higher prices, like if it does see $1 million by the end of the cycle, which I doubt it does, then we double that. It's 26K for Bitcoin Cash. But that's only if you stop here. You could very well stop at higher valuations. You could go all the way up to this 5.5%, something like that. That'd be crazy, but you could still do it. Now we're breaking above 20K. Interesting thoughts here. All I presume to know is that we will get above this ribbon, okay? That's all I presume to know. With that in itself, at this point in time, 1.5%, if I assume Bitcoin itself will be worth 500,000, that's about $7,500. That means Bitcoin Cash is at new all-time highs. And if it's at $7,500 after breaking out of a multi-cycle consolidation, lifelong consolidation phase like this, I doubt you stop at 75, man. Your minimum target's 13K. Yeah. Very, very bullish stuff here, you guys. Very, very bullish stuff in the works. Man, I want to grab my Bitcoin maximalist friends and be like, dude, buy some Bitcoin Cash. Just do it. Do it, please. Just for the love of everything you want, man. You regret not buying more Bitcoin when it was worth this price. You have a chance. Do it. It's the better Bitcoin, too. Come to the green side. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Things are about to get wicked in a really good way. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Come to the green side.